Our first guest is the Michael Jordan of the Real Housewives universe. She's moved on from housewives to become a successful entrepreneur, a philanthropist, an author, and producer. Her new book is called Business is Personal. Give it up for Bethenny Frankel. Bethenny.
Look at you.
Look at us all dolled up here. You look fantastic.
Yeah, we are a far cry from who we used to be.
Look at you, shoe cam, what are we talking about here?
These are literally like 10 years old. I shop my own closet. People are always shocked that everything I wear, something that is in my closet that I just put together.
But are these like fancy? Are these from France, Greece?
They're from Greece. No, they're Saint Laurent.
All right, okay, that's fancy, right?
But when it was called Yves Saint Laurent, they changed the brand name. But literally, they've been around a while.
Well, I'm glad. Yes. Well, you, Bethenny, I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you.
You know.
Oh my God.
What happened?
I'm taking my clothes off.
Keep your clothes on.
I'm taking my clothes off. Hold on.
When I say you're the Michael Jordan of Housewives, I ain't doing it for any favors, Bethenny. Keep your clothes on.
Listen. It's a write-off, as I like to say.
Now, would you consider me your biggest fan? Are there other people that go crazy for you like I do? I mean, or am I the craziest?
People in the business? Or
in the business.
You dig me. But people dig me, I think. I'm like black licorice. You dig me or you don't dig me.
All right.
You know?
Now, you're on my Mount Rushmore. I think you're on everybody's Mount Rushmore of Housewives.
I mean, I better be.
You have to be.
I mean...
Who was on your Mount Rushmore of Housewives? Like, who are the ones you loved?
My Mount Rushmore of Housewives is me, Nene, Teresa, and Lisa Vanderpump.
Okay.
You can't beat that lineup, that all-star lineup. You hit me with your best shot.
I mean, I go the great Bethenny Frankel from New York City, Nene Leakes.
Right.
Teresa Giudice hailing from New Jersey.
Right.
But, you know, listen, sometimes people have to be pushed out. No disrespect to the great LVP.
Okay.
Erica Jane from Beverly Hills put it all on the line the last couple of seasons. It was messy. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't a pretty mess all the time, but she put it all on the line. I mean, we're both leaving out the OG of the OC, the great Vicky G from Orange County, the great Vicky Gunvalson, who, I mean...
Yes, but the one thing that you're missing with Erica and with Vicky is that they're wildly entertaining and you're laughing at them. I think Lisa Vanderpump has a natural humor that you really need in the Mount Rushmore. If you think about the others, you need a level of comedy and you need a level of multi-textural experiences that I think we're really, with Erica, it's great, and she's major fashion, and this is something that happened to her that she's dealing with. But, you know, when you're really talking about the trenches, I think I'd want at least LVP.
This is like literally like watching a basketball game with like LeBron James or Michael Jordan, and like you're analyzing it from a different. This is like watching a game with like Tom Brady and he's breaking down film.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I respect what you're saying. I ain't changing my Mount Rushmore, but respect Bethenny Frankel.
Where's the real emotional depth?
I get it.
Where's the real emotional depth not related to the one issue? For years, the fancy objects and the outfits and the cars and the homes, you know, they're one thing, but like the actual stories and the depth and the highs and the lows. So think about all
I understand.
the highs
And
lows.
LVP, the dressing, Ken with his pink, purple shirts, the fact that she's got like miniature animals in her home.
A lot of depth.
It's hard to beat that. She's got like a miniature donkey and like frogs like running around her crib. I understand that. Now, but before we get to all the other things you have accomplished, I'm gonna put you to it right now. Would you ever go back on The Housewives? They're talking about a legacy show. Would you at least go on for one episode and like launch them like little birds out into the world?
Listen, this is what you don't understand. First of all, no. Second of all...
Wow!
I mean, I don't really think... Yeah, I can't... I mean, listen, if you're a real business person, I think there's usually some number, some astronomical number, but they cannot afford that number. They cannot afford that number. But if you go on the one time, they will utilize that for the entire promo. It would have been like I was on the show, and this is the truth. So it would have been like you're on 20 episodes. You go 1 second, they would utilize that to promote it, which I'm not doing it anyway, but I'm just explaining to you that you don't give a little bit away. You don't do that. You give it all, or you don't give it at all.
I get it. I see that. I mean, wait a second.
I know. It's good.
Hold on a second. This ain't costume.
No, of course not.
This ain't costume.
You go all or you go not at all.
Yo, is this your engagement ring to my man Paul?
It is.
Wow. Yo.
It's beautiful. It's really, really.
Got it. Now, you've spoken about other housewives. Teresa Giudice, you were very public about saying that Teresa Giudice should get a
prenup.
A prenup.
I'll have to jump through my phone. Yeah, if she doesn't get a prenup. Yeah.
Now, you're a businesswoman. You're savvy. You've written books about business.
Yeah.
You and Paul eventually are going to get married?
Yeah, well, we get married, and when we get married, not meaning if, like, we won't get married, but we're not even talking about the plans now, because in the pandemic, all we were talking about was the plans, and I want to be together. We are married.
Right.
We are partners. I don't love all the technicalities and the planning and the logistics and the drama. I don't want that in a relationship. I want to be together and be united and feel married without all of that. And I don't love the idea of a prenup, but it's a necessary evil.
So you would do it?
You have to. No. You have to do it. And maybe I don't want to ever talk about legal aspects in matters of the heart. I've been through that so
I know. If and when you guys do get married, would you want a small wedding, a big wedding, or like what would you want?
Well, that's the thing.
Would you want a Courtney and Travis like at the courthouse wedding? Like what would you be into?
Well, that's the thing. We would want something small, but you want to be kind to people's families and parents and respect what they want. That's sort of what I'm talking about.
Right.
If you don't get into the planning, you don't have to deal with all of what everybody else wants, and you do want to respect people. So we would want small, that's for sure.
Okay.
But we don't always get what we want.
You don't always get what you want. You kind of get what you want. You don't play around. Bethenny gets what Bethenny wants.
Right.
Now, you're a philanthropist. You do so much. When there's a problem, and I respect this so much because you don't need to be doing any of that stuff. You could be running around with your Yves Saint Laurents, your Saint Laurents. What made you get into it? Talk about your philanthropy and what it means to what you're doing with Ukraine and how it works.
Well, you know, I just started by being affected by what was going on with Hurricane Harvey, and then took it to a bigger level in Puerto Rico with millions and millions of dollars in planes there. And then Bahamas, and it just grows like a business. I talk about this in my book, Business is Personal, like a business, one step at a time, and I treat it like a not-for-profit business. So now we have a $125 million effort in Ukraine.
$125 million?
Yeah, taking orphans out, relocating refugees, distributing aid to, from Hungary and Poland into Ukraine. I mean, it's a massive effort, but it's not unlike business where you go one step at a time, you layer it, and as you get better, you keep going and you build a career. And not everyone's a good philanthropist, just like not everyone's a good business person. So I utilize all of that skill set in philanthropy.
And I know you're humble, but can you tell the people the name of your charity so if they want to get more information?
It's called Be Strong. 100% goes to the initiative, and there's no BS. It's just the money to the people. There's no rubber chicken dinner, no celebrities singing. It's called the money to the people who need it.
Okay. Well, I mean, a rubber chicken dinner is...
Not for that. I don't mix charity and business.
Good. Now, your new book, Business is Personal. What made you write this book? Break down what the book is about. How do you even have time to write a book? You got a 12-year-old daughter. How did you get this book together? This is your 10th book?
My 10th book. And I'm very organized, and I don't hesitate and I don't procrastinate. I just do it. It's just easier to do it than talk about doing it, which is many of the things that people go through now, particularly in this time in the world, when they're thinking about getting into business. You've got to get your hands dirty. You've got to get in the game, make mistakes, layer that, and eventually you will build an interesting career. I wrote it because I'm a non-traditional business person. I did not think of myself as an entrepreneur or a business person. I'm just a person who does things well if I do them at all, and I'm passionate. So you take one idea, one job, you do really well, and then you go on to the next thing, and anybody can do it, and you can do it if you're a non-traditional business person that didn't go to business school, that doesn't understand contracts. And I wrote it because it's a toolkit for everybody to listen to some of the rules I say and the crazy mistakes I've made in stories to make your own entrepreneurial adventure.
I think it's dope. You know, the pandemic we don't know if it's ending, we don't know what it is. Is it a good time now, post-pandemic, sort of post-pandemic, to start a business?
Well, many of you know, right, that your business has changed, the way you work has changed, and you're having these ideas about things you always wanted to do, and what's going on in your career may suck now anyway because of what's gone on. So it's a decent time to jump because everything's upside down. And when things are upside down, there are opportunities because people don't know what direction to move in. So everybody's shuffling so you can find your seat. That's the difference between times of unrest. It's what goes up comes down. So like things are upside down, but there are also opportunities. So you got to try to find the fish.
Okay. You know, also, one of the things that why I love you as a housewife is because we watched you grow from literally selling, I don't know what the hell you were selling in the back of that supermarket.
Wheat, egg,
bagel bites.
Bagel bites. Wheat, egg, and dairy-free baked goods. I was a natural food chef. Before it was cool to be
baked goods in the back. No, people were looking at you like you were totally
crazy.
Nuts.
Nobody, like, yeah, you could hear a muffin drop, is what I said.
And then we saw you. We saw you have
I was
a kid.
passionate.
Passionate.
That's the point. I was sucking. I was failing, but I was convicted.
Convicted, or you had conviction?
I think you can say I was convicted. I had conviction.
Conviction. I don't think you want to be convicted.
No, I don't want to be convicted, but can't you say I was convicted? Can you say that?
You're asking me.
Somebody
I went to
Google
public school in New York City.
Yeah,
convicted, okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I had conviction. Let's find that.
You had conviction.
All right, fine.
You were dedicated. Let's just say dedicated.
I'm the only housewife that wasn't convicted.
Boom. All right, your daughter Bryn, 12 years old. You're a tough cookie. Are you a tough mom or are you a pushover? What's your deal as a mom?
I'm both. It's very interesting. I indulge and I love and I give. She's such a good human being. She's so kind. She doesn't care about any of the pomp and circumstance. But I do not negotiate with terrorists. And here's the line. And I, give her great advice, but I lay it down. And I show her how things will. One time I said to her, we could do this the easy way or the hard way this year. One is you kind of don't listen to me and you're disrespectful and you'll see how that goes. The other way, we're gonna have a great time. But I've taken on women that are much more difficult than you, so let's do it the my way.
And what does she try to negotiate with? Like, are there any negotiations on the table now?
It could be just like we're going to a big, red carpet event, and she wanted to wear, and she's very earthy, and she doesn't dress in a promiscuous way, but she wanted to wear something that showed her midriff. I said, no. And I showed her something else, and she said, well, that's not me. I said, all right, well, what's going to be you is your stomach being covered until a certain age. Because,
What's going to be you is we're not going to the event. What's
going to be you is like, yeah, exactly. You get what you get, and you don't get upset. We're not wearing midriff. I'm not sporting my midriff, and neither are you. We both, you're not there yet, and I'm past that. So
right.
That's it.
All right, well, Bethenny, I appreciate you being here. I love you. I respect you.
Good for you. You're doing a great job.
I appreciate it, Bethenny.
Nice audience, too.
Nice audience.
Thank you.
Everybody pick up a copy of Business is Impersonal. It's in stores now.